This Fighter and the Kid, sponsored by antidepressants. Some people are feeling real sad right now. Real sad right now. Brendan Schaub's feeling real low. But I think he knows that sometimes that's the way it goes. That's the way it goes after a fight. Hey, Brendan, I hope I'm a help to you since I'm your best friend.
You're the worst best friend ever.
Damn it.
You're the worst.
Bryan Callen here, the worst best friend of all time.
The worst best friend of all time.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back, the Fighter and the Kid, after that sensational podcast that we released that has now, I think everybody in the world's heard it.
It really escalated.
Yeah. And I just want to start this podcast by saying that when we recorded that with Joe, I didn't expect Joe to be that frank. You didn't expect Joe to be that open and frank. And sorry I wasn't any help.
You did nothing. Nothing. Let me paint the fucking scenario here. We were scheduled to do a Fighter and the Kid with Evan the Beard at Fox Sports. Bryan sends me a text the night before, goes, "Hey man, let's do it with Joe. We'll just do it at Rogan Studios. I think it'll be good." I texted him and said, "Hey man, I don't want this to be an attack on my career or my team or my coaches. None of that. We can talk about the fight, but I just want it to be open, fun, kind of." Bryan's text is, "Yeah, of course not, man. This will be good."
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, cool. Show up. Bryan's not there. It's just me and Rogan. I go, Rogan's a really, really close friend of mine. I go, as soon as I get there, I go, "Joe, what's up?" He goes, "What's up, man?" I go, "Not much, man." Talking. He goes, "You want to save the small talk and we'll just talk on air?" He's never talked to me like that ever. I went, "Sure, I guess." So I sat there going through all his snacks, eating the shit out of Nature Box, pickles, and coffee. Then Bryan gets there. We sit down, and Bryan texts me before we walk in, goes, "Don't worry, man, I got your back. Don't worry, I got your back. I would never let anything happen to you like that." So then we're sitting down, and Rogan just literally, just thrashes me to the fullest extent. And I'm tapping Bryan chime in.
You were going like this. You were going, huh. And I was like, let's change the subject.
Well, you know why I was going, huh? Because if I would have spoke, you would have heard me crying. I was trying not to cry.
Yeah.
I was trying not to cry. And I was thinking to myself, my phone blew up. I had 45 text messages from friends, family, people going, "Walk out right now. Don't take this. Walk out right now." I thought, no. Joe's a good buddy. Bryan's a good buddy. He's just a pussy. I'll figure something out. I'll figure something out.
Here's what I really appreciate, and here's what the point I was trying to make. I said you have to re-recorded that, and it was really hard for Joe. I mean, Joe was bummed out. We were talking, and I said after we recorded, I said we don't have to air this, Brendan. I said it was streamed, but we cannot air this, and we don't have to put this up. And you said no, post it. And I thought that was, I really appreciated that, because it was like, for you, it seems like you're willing to not only get the debate out there, but just kind of, you're not afraid. At the end of the day, you know who you are.
Listen, this is the thing. So, was Rogan's podcast hard to do? 100%. Is this podcast hard to do? Fuck yeah, man. Hell yeah. The thing that makes our show different, makes me different, is the fans are so invested. The Fighter and the Kid fans, Big Brown fans, whatever they are, they're so invested. It's a journey. So they were pumped when they were with us when the Travis Browne fight got announced. All the emotions, being happy, the excitement for the fight. They invested in the fight. They buy the fight. They watch me. The support online is insane. They buy all the shirts. And so it didn't go according to plan. And now you get a glimpse. I don't know any other athlete that does this. I know Derek Jeter, he started blogs, and he says he wants to have the top athletes blog about their experience, stuff like that.
Yeah, but that's easier.
We're already doing it. Jeter, yeah, we're already doing it, my man. You're looking and I'm speaking to the mic, not writing it out.
You said something this morning.
However, so I feel like as hard as this is and as shitty as this is, man, and as hard as it's not to cry and whatever, I feel like I owe it to the fans to take them on this journey, and I promise it's going to help someone. It's going to and for me, it's also a way to cope with this loss is talking. I mean, you're a terrible listener, but for me, it's a way to talk to people out there. You know, even this mic, I know it's reaching ears, and people are listening now on their phones or at work, something like that, who get it and are interested in this journey. This is part of professional sports, man. I've been competing for 25 years of my life. 25 years, man. I've been an athlete.
God.
25 years.
Yeah.
I've had ups and downs. Oh, you don't think I've had my back against the wall in the UFC? You don't think when I lost to Ben Rothwell for my second fight in a row?
Yeah.
You don't think I've heard this all before? You don't think people were telling me I should stop then?
Exactly.
I've been here, man. We're going to be fine. I promise you we're going to be fine. There's some decisions that need to be made. There 100%, there's some corrections I have to make. There's some decisions to be made. But when you look at it in black and white, I was the number 3 guy in the world. I was doing pretty well, no matter what Rogan said. And that's the other thing. Me, Rogan, are boys, and you and I are boys. I don't agree with everything Rogan said. Let's get that out in the open now.
Sure.
I do not agree with everything he says.
And I want to also just really on that caveat, it's also important, and you never say this, I know A-level fighters, elite fighters, I know this from other people who you have in the gym, you beat the brakes off of, or certainly get the best of. And I know that for a fact. I would never mention names, and I know you would never let me. But your experience, and as somebody who didn't fight their whole life, with the exception of Matt Mitrione, I think you're the only guy who's at your level who came in and has done so well. But you have been thrown to everybody you've had has been a serious contender.
But that's what I asked for. I do it to be the best and make a title shot. Listen, yeah, I could go to Bellator. I could do or fight on the undercards and beat up these guys you've never heard of. That's not fulfilling. That's not why I'm in the sport.
Right.
So for me, man, I don't agree with Rogan. Some of his points I do agree with. There's some stuff when you lay it out and you look at numbers, I can see why he thinks I should move on. The truth of the fact is I make about as much money doing this show as I do in the UFC. Mm-hmm. That's the truth. It's about identical. Mm-hmm. That's just being honest with you guys. So from Joe, and I'm trying to paint the picture because if you look online, the response, Joe Rogan's not painting in a bad light. Everyone thinks what he did was great and stuff like that. But I'm speaking to my family and friends that are close to me who don't understand Rogan's point. He's come as a friend saying, bro, you don't have to take hits to the head. You don't.
Right. That's
a lot of guys have to. You don't, because he knows what kind of income we have and the potential.
And he
of the
genuinely
show and
loves you.
like
He really does.
Yeah, and I love him, and it's all good. It took every ounce of me, and I was sweating, but the way that I got through it was I was like, well, someone's gonna sit there and they're gonna respond to this. You look at a guy like Costa, the Ohio State guy who committed suicide. 100%. I sat down with the kid and talked to him. It was because of concussions. I promise you.
He said that to you. You said you should get into MMA.
I told him. I go, yo, bro. Big athletic dude. I go, the UFC could use you, man. You're a monster.
And you're a wrestler.
And I said, and you wrestled, freak wrestler, playing at Ohio State. I go, which one is it? NFL, UFC? He goes, I don't know him that well. So he's obviously not lying. He goes, I can't, man. My head's too jacked up. Way too many concussions to do anything after this. I went, and you're playing D-line at Ohio State? I went, that can't be smart, man. He goes, what can you do? And I was like, I'll see you later, man. That's when you see the picture we took. There's someone out there listening to this who it's going to get through. For Rogan to say, you're too smart. You think, these other warriors are thinking about plan Bs and stuff like that? Maybe not. These guys don't, they're not doing what I do. I think this is a path no one's really has taken. Do I think I can compete at a high level and still kind of do what we're doing? 100%, man. 100%. I disagree with him there. It's a fine line, man. It's a fine line between hanging it up and moving on and continuing to fight. Have I had concussions? 100%. It's documented. You see me in the UFC. I played football for 20 years, so I'm sure there is. I'd rather live my life for 50 years being a warrior than live to 100 being a freaking gazelle. Does that make sense? Just being
man.
a peasant. I'd rather 50 years of a warrior. Cool, sign me up, man.
You are a warrior.
100 years as a peasant. Nah, I'm good. I'll take the 50 glories. That being said, I feel like I was put on this earth. Yeah, I have some God-gifted abilities and athletic stuff like that, and I'm a funny guy. At the same time, I've a duty, I think, to the world to make some X-Men babies. You know what I'm saying? I think that's part of it, and that comes, when I think about concussion stuff like that, that bothers me down the road. Am I going to be able to play with my kids? Am I going to have a stutter? Stuff like that. But to say I can't compete at this level because I think about this stuff isn't true. People maybe not thought about it before. Mm-hmm. I think guys are more aware of it now. Look at the NFL.
How could you not be? How could you not be more aware of it with all the science that's coming out?
Exactly.
And if you, as a human being, and if you're watching specials on concussions in football, it's going to get into your head.
But don't get
it.
But don't get it twisted. This isn't the UFC's fault. It's not the NFL's fault as far as concussions go. When you sign up for this stuff, there's repercussions. Running into a guy from 50 yards away with pads on, there's going to be repercussions down the road. Fighting the number 3 heavyweight in the world, let him upcut you in the face. You think that I didn't realize things were going to happen? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you knew you were going to get hurt.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That being said, this is part of the journey, man. This is part of the journey, and I felt like we owe it to the fans, the Find the Kid fans, and
I really
it's the ride, right?
I really appreciate it. You said something that made so much sense this morning. You said, I want to get it out there because this is part of being a professional fighter. This is part of what you deal with when you do lose and everybody loses. And how many times have we seen this? Never. You watch 24/7 and stuff. It's all before the fight. I've never seen, somebody who's as open as you and willing to be, the stuff you were hearing. I know how hurtful it was. Oof. And last night after we did,
I walked in the door and cried, man. I walked in the door of my house and cried for probably 30 minutes.
Yeah. Well, after we left, we were standing outside the studio, and I didn't know what to do, and
you're the worst, the fucking worst. We get out there, and I'm literally like,
I was so I didn't know.
I'm sweating. I just tell Rogan, all right, man, I'll see you. Walk out the door.
I didn't know, and when Joe said you asked to do this on the air, I didn't know I thought you guys had talked prior, so I was like looking at both of you going, where do I come in on this and how do I protect my friend?
Nothing. He did nothing.
And
Evan, did you watch it? Did you listen to it?
Yeah, I did.
Wait, worse than that. After the podcast, I go, what do you want to do?
No, you go, bro, you want to come to
my house?
Calabasas and hang out with my family?
You're staring off in the distance and you go like this, you go, nah, I'm right. I don't want to deal with traffic. I'll probably just go to Chipotle and chill. I was like, okay.
Yeah, just takes off.
I get up like a eunuch, like a castrated. Like I was like, see ya. You're my friend. I just drive off in my dusty Passat. Hey, thanks a lot, Doctor No Help.
Nothing.
I called you a bunch.
Oh, thanks, bro. Thanks. Have you met my friend Switzerland? Have you met my fucking friend Switzerland? Bro, but before the show, I go, 100% I'm fighting. Brian goes, 100%, man. You're going to do great. Yeah. Rogan goes, hey, I think Schaub retired. Brian goes, he definitely should.
I did not say that.
You're like,
I didn't say that.
Balancing the
I
two.
was saying, I knew how much Joe loved you. I knew where it was coming from. And I was, me, I get so uncomfortable, and I'm like sitting there going, I think you should fight, but I don't think you should fight. I don't want you to fight because I don't want you to get hurt. So I agree with that. And you have other options, and then I'm backtracking and going, look, if you fight, who's going to be there? Who's going to be there? Like who's going to be rubber banding their underwear? Who's there freaking out every single time right behind Joe Rogan? I mean, yeah, I lose sleep.
And then I'm like,
I don't sleep.
I'm
well.
like, who can I call right now to fucking
not
back
Brian.
me up on this? For sure, not Brian. Best friend out the window.
Oh yeah.
You know what? Let me call my brother. Call my brother. Go. My brother listens to all this stuff. He loves Rogan. Call my brother. Go. Did you listen to it? He goes, yeah, I did. And I was hoping to be like, fuck that guy. My brother's a super opinionated dude, man. Like super opinionated. He goes, yeah, I gotta be. I'm with Rogan, man.
Your brother, your own brother.
He goes, I'm with Rogan, man. Yeah, I don't want to see you get punched in the face anymore. I went, and then again, try not to cry. I go, cool, man. Someone's calling. I'll call you right back.
I'll call you right back.
Phone back.
Oh, that's so funny. That's so funny.
I'm glad you're having fun with it, though, Brian,
Dude,
at my expense.
And then I took a picture of Brendan on my Instagram.
Bro, he's meeting me for coffee. He goes, gets out of the car, he goes, oh, I got to take a picture of this.
Well, you were sitting
Oh,
there.
you look so sad. Let me take a picture of this.
You literally had no strength in your arms. His mouth was hanging open. He's no strength in his arms. He's just hunched over. I took a picture of it. Hat, sunglasses, holding his coffee, just staring at me. Dead-eyed, like
posture of a jumbo shrimp.
Just jumbo shrimp. I gotta take a picture of this. I had to have a picture of my friend at the lowest point of his life.
Yeah,
and I posted
we're
it.
Close to
Hashtag that. For sure, cheer up.
We're close to it. Yeah, man. I don't know what to tell you. For those that didn't hear the Rogan podcast, we can talk about the fight a little bit. It felt good all week. I was nervous. When we got there, the what people don't realize is we usually stay. So if you're fighting at Mandalay Bay, you stay at Mandalay Bay. If you're fighting at MGM, you stay at MGM. But when we got there, I wasn't aware of this. The UFC picks me up in an Escalade, and they take me to we're pulling up the Palms. Big Brown hates the Palms. Hates. I can't emphasize enough. Hates the Palms.
No offense to the Palms.
No, fuck the Palms. Hashtag tough finale, Big Brown's first UFC fight. So I have
bad memories.
Horrible memories.
Bad memories.
Horrible memories.
Okay.
Horrible memories. They pull up, I go, what are we doing here? And Tony, my coach, who, he wasn't with me during the time when I fought Roy there, was like, what's wrong, man? Like, why are you sweating? I'm like, well, what are we doing here at the Palms? They're like, oh, Mandalay Bay, since the road is in town, it was booked, so everyone's staying at the Palms. And I was just like, oh, no. So I have a good buddy who connections with hotels, so they put me in a suite at Hard Rock. So I go from there straight to Hard Rock right away, man, just to get out of that whole mental state.
Yeah.
So the week was fine. The build up, it was weird. There was like this kind of like low blood sugar freaking press conference. I thought
the crowd was low blood sugar.
Yeah, the weigh-ins, the crowd wasn't very hyped. So you've seen the weigh-ins, we get into it. That's all just for me trying to create drama and all this around the fight to get people interested and want to tune into the fight.
Yeah.
If you're not a Big Brown fan, you watch that weigh-in, you're like, ooh, I want to see that fight.
Right.
If we just stare at each other and shake hands,
it's boring.
It's boring. People will watch, but they're not invested. Yeah. Now, like, ooh, those two are going to scrap. I'm going to chime in. Yep. So I want that. As far as I'll clear the record here. As far as the shit talk goes and the hype, every fight I like to come up with a plan. I don't have a publicist. I like to do it myself. I come up with a plan on how are we going to attack this fight as far as market it.
Get people to listen. Be invested.
Yes, you want people emotionally invested in your fight. You want your fight to matter. You know what I'm saying? So,
and by the way, don't get it twisted. You're also you're not. You're ready to fight. It's not like you're just all acting. I mean, you're
no, yeah, 100%.
Before the fight,
that's a given, Brian.
Yeah.
Again, you're the worst friend ever. So
hashtag
worst friend ever.
Hashtag no help.
Yeah. Again, but you're in shape and ready to fight. Yeah, no shit, Brian. Yeah.
Thanks.
So, I find out. I figured we'd be on the countdown. I find out we're not on the countdown. Only the 2 title fights are on the countdown. So I get together. I organize a sponsor to shoot a countdown type show so I can hype the fight. Now, if all I do is talk about my training, this is the best shape I've ever been, blah, blah, blah. It's the same old countdowns you've ever seen. No one's invested. So I'm like, how can I create hype around this and talk trash about Travis Browne? Well, what are you going to talk about? You going to talk about his skill set? No, the guy's a freaking monster, number 3 in the world. What are you going to talk about? His, you know what I'm saying? What can you possibly
his
talk?
height?
His height, his resume? Nope, there's none of that. What's the one thing that's changed in Travis Browne's entire thing? His camp.
Yeah.
Let me attack his camp. I have no hard feelings towards Edmund. None of that. None of that at all. There's no animosity towards Edmund. That was my angle to attack this fight.
Yeah.
As far as marketing wise, it was attack Edmund in the camp. I know Edmund's emotional. As soon as word got to him, he would invest in it. It would create this kind of drama around the fight. That's what happened. After the fight, the first thing I did is I went to Travis and Edmund and Neil and his coach in the back and was like, listen, man, that was just create hype and get people talking about this fight. And they both said, yeah, I understand. We shook hands and went our separate ways.
Yeah.
The question we get I've been getting on Twitter all the time nonstop is, what did you and Travis say to each other after the fight? I looked up to him and said, that was stopped early, man. That was some bullshit. That was some bullshit. That was bullshit. And he said something like, that's what you get for talking smack or something like that. And then, just going over the fight, caught me with uppercut, did a great job. He watched film before where I ducked my head and timed it, and that's an Edmund thing. And when you got an athletic guy like Travis Browne, you have Edmund train him. He shows him something. It's in his repertoire right away. It's similar with Ronda Rousey. She's such a freak athlete.
Travis just he absorbs things very quickly
because he's so athletic.
Yeah.
So they picked that up on film. They timed it. It was a great shot. People ask, "Oh man, your jiu-jitsu is supposed to be so good. How did he get from half guard to mount to your back?" So that uppercut rocked me, and I came to with him in mount. That's when I responded and was like, "Oh." Because all I remember is taking him down and us scrambling back to our feet. That's all I remember. Mm-hmm. Then I came to with him in mount, and I was thinking to myself, oh, he must have, in the scramble, he must have got on top of me somehow. I didn't even remember the punch or anything like that. I was thinking, oh, we're in a scramble right now. And I remember going for a heel hook from mount, which I always do. I push the hips and swing over for a heel hook. It's tough to finish him, but it creates him to stand up, turn out, and run so I could get back up.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah, so when I was going for it, when I rewatched the fight, you can see my body's not responding. It's a little slow. So then I was like, this isn't good. I'm going to eat punches here because he's so long. It's going to be hard to control his posture from mount. Jesus. I'm going to turn belly down. No one finishes me.
I was surprised by that.
No one finishes me belly down. So I turned belly down, and I'm covering my ears. In the back, Mario Yamasaki goes, listen, if you're in trouble and I talk to you, and you give me a signal, I'm going to let it keep going. I'm going to let it go longer. Okay, cool. Well, when I'm covered up and he's punching the back of my head, those didn't do anything.
Well, Tony told me he heard you say, don't stop the fight. You were shouting,
I was
don't
talking
stop
to the ref, yelling at the ref, going,
yeah.
He's hit me in the back of the head. These are all illegal shots. Do not stop the fight. And then I heard there was 30 seconds. I heard my coaches yelling 20 seconds, 15 seconds,
right.
And I'm telling them, do not stop the fight, because I knew if we got out of that round, the odds are in our favor. And the game plan is that first round, stick and move. If the takedown's there, go for it, but wear them out a little. And then second round, third round, get more aggressive. But that first round, if you're going to lose a round, that first round is fine, because the second and third, we're going to start turning it on. That was the game plan.
You were pretty aggressive in the first round.
Yeah, a little too aggressive. Anyways, so I just wanted to get out of that first round.
Yeah.
That didn't happen, and looking back on it, probably should have done some different things. I have no issue with Mario's stoppage. I have an issue with my defense. I shouldn't have got hit with the uppercut. Let's make that clear. I'm not criticizing Mario. I wish he would have let it go. Rules are rules. If a guy's not defending, he probably should have stopped it.
Yep.
But when a fighter's talking to you, I think if you go case by case, if I'm clear and conscious enough to say, yo, I'm all right, but it's back to the head, I think I'm all right, in good shape. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So there's that, man. I don't know what it was before the fight. I talked about this on Rogan's, for the people that didn't listen to Rogan's. It was weird, and Tony said he's never seen me this way in sparring, nothing like that. I was ready to go. I had butterflies early on, and there was just kind of like this daze where I asked Henry, I go, bro, can you give me a cup of coffee, man? I need to wake up. I took all On It stuff, my Shroom Tech, Alpha Brain, all that stuff, and I usually have bulletproof coffee before I train, and there's usually never an issue getting coffee at the arena. I asked Henry, I said, yo, can you get me a coffee? He couldn't find it. I'm like, that's all right. I'll wake up. As soon as I hit the crowd, or as soon as Bert calls my name, I'll wake up. I'll be fine. Hit the crowd, and literally you can tell before I walk out, I'm just like, I have this Bert stare. I'm just like,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I'm like, all right, now it's time. I got to hype myself up. Still didn't happen. Then I get in the octagon. And I was thinking, all right, once I hear Travis's music, it's on, man. Once I hear that, I'm going to get jacked up. And the last thing I remember thinking before it was game time was thinking, song's all right. I remember thinking that, like, song, I feel better.
When they talk about experience, this is an example of it. Like when you say he has a lot of experience, like going through a fight, which is the biggest fight of your life, and all of a sudden, I have no energy. I'm tired. What? That's part of it.
Wasn't that I'm tired.
Whatever it is. I mean, I'm just saying the cloudy feeling or whatever.
It's not that or fatigue feeling. I felt great. Like I wasn't even breathing hard after that round. It's not that, man. It's hard to explain if you've never been in a fight. It's like
underwater.
No, maybe it's like if you're driving down PCH and 9 times out of 10 it's clear skies and you're in a Ferrari and you're freaking flooring it and that thing's fine tuned going through the corners. It's great. Now put a ton of fog in there and you still got this fine tuned machine, but it's a little a little slow and you're kind of like, what the hell? Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah, and I think anybody who deals with nerves or anything in the aftermath of nerves sometimes knows exactly what that is. 100%. You just as a performer, I can just tell you, just like being nervous at times and then going out and doing something. I know exactly what that feeling is. Where literally you're like, this is a huge. This could change my career.
I didn't think about that. No.
Well, I'm just saying when I have something like that and I felt like I was underwater, like I was like, what is wrong with me? I'm not thinking I'm a step slow or I'm a step off. It really feels like you're a step off.
See, I didn't feel off. It just wasn't, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
It wasn't off. I just was like, let's do it. Yeah, cool. Let's do it.
Another fight. Another fight in terms of that's kind of the difference between experience and not. Whatever you went through is something that you have gone through and you'll recognize it next time. But I for my money, we joke around a lot, but I appreciate your courage and I appreciate how open you are and I appreciate the fact that you were willing to post that thing. I think it took a lot of balls. I think you're a brave dude. I think you're a ballsy motherfucker, and I know you really well. I know how hard you train. I know what your character's about, and I find it very inspirational. And I also think that there's a saying, you can measure a man by how he reacts to defeat. And you measure a man by how he keeps his enthusiasm between successes. And there are a lot of ways to measure a man. It's really easy to be awesome when you're winning. And the fact of the matter is that you've stayed true to who you are in a very difficult set of circumstances over this past weekend and these past 2 days. And I think you've handled it with grace, and I'm very proud of you for that. And I find it's more than being proud. I find it very, very inspirational, man. And I think you've handled it with humor, and I think you've handled it with great humility, and I think it's all in the name of service to other people, because you said if it makes a difference in other people's lives and it can help other people, then I'm willing to do it. And I think that's a really fucking rare thing, man. So, I'm glad I have a chance to say that in front of so many people, because you deserve it. You deserve it. And the other thing, I've been alive for a long time now, man. I know a couple things. And one of the things I know is that when you are down and you have a defeat, the way you grow, what determines your growth is how you react to that defeat. I don't think you grow often when you're winning. I think you grow when you're losing and when your back's to the wall. Depending. Some people give up. Some people don't want to face the music. And you're the exact opposite of that. I've very rarely met anybody like you who is truly willing to stay uncomfortable for so long. It's incredible to me. I don't know where it comes from. I don't know how you had that resolve, but you're an open, honest dude. And I remember seeing that from day one. Your ability to make fun of yourself, your ability to talk about yourself in a certain way, it is a very rare thing. It's one of the reasons Rogan and I love you so much, because it's a huge part of your humor and your ability to tell stories. And I also happen to think, and I want to say this too, you've been a very successful fighter, regardless. I mean, you with the exception of Matt Mitrione, are the only fighters I can think of that have reached your level and have your winning record that didn't come to this game having fought their whole life. Everybody I can think of who was a champion. Anthony Pettis did Taekwondo for 22 years. I mean, GSP was started in karate. I mean, everybody I know is either a wrestler from a very young age or a martial artist or a boxer, and you're the exception to that. And yet you've done so well. So I think that has to be taken into account. It really does. And you fought literally monsters, the very best in the game. And you will continue to fight, and you'll quit on your time, and you'll do your own assessment.
Yeah, this is great, Brian. Where the fuck was this last night?
Well, I needed a night to think about it. Anyway, I think we've talked about this. I think we've talked about this long enough, ladies and gentlemen.
Nothing, man. Nothing. You did nothing.
I did some stuff. Let the people decide. It wasn't my place.
Hey, listen, I appreciate all the support, though. Not negative at all.
No.
Not the least bit.
How can they be negative? How can you not?
You could be. You could be.
All right, well,
But it's not.
Man.
But it's not.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's not.
No, it's not. You've gotten a lot of support.
When I do these things, it's for the Fighting Kid Army. It's for the show.
Yeah. Hey,
just like I wore the Abbott Kinney Fight Club shirt.
Yes, you did.
My manager wanted me to wear some other stuff. I was like, how much are they paying me? He I go, bro, I make more money off selling my own shirts. Tell him to go kick rocks.
He's rocks.
He's like, I don't think this is smart. I'm like, oh, cool, you're fired. And I'm wearing Abbott Kinney Fight Club. You're fired though. Good idea. Abbott Kinney Fight Club.
Take it easy.
We just reordered them. They're coming out in gray and red.
They're coming out in gray and red.
Should be out next week.
Speaking of which, ladies and gentlemen, we are brought to you by On It. And I hope you guys are on it, because if you go to onit.com/fighter, we'll give you 10% off everything from exercise equipment to supplements to the things that give you an edge when it comes to performance. And go to onit.com, and on that website, if you have any questions about Alpha Brain, about New Mood, about anything else, if you want to see the experiments they've done, about what is in those products, they have it all documented and posted in very easy language to read. And that's a rare thing. Also, not to mention, I think all of their kettlebells and all of their equipment is really, really high quality.
It's the best. You can't get any better as far as supplements. Just get you some damn On It.
Yeah.
www.onit.com/fighter. Get your discount. Be like the kid in Big Brown.
It's Christmas. It's Christmas time.
It's Christmas,
I'll be ordering some
filthy
stuff.
bitches.
You filthy... Ho, 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 you filthy bitches. We're going to do a special Christmas show.
We are doing a Christmas special, and we're going to sing a holiday song.
That's right.
We're going to sing Silent Night, maybe.
Oh, do we have the rights to that?
Duet.
Can we do that? I think it's a public domain.
Or we can come...
Let's do a one.
No.
Come on, dude.
Not today. Not happening.
Dude, especially today.
No, fuck you.
Come on, man. You're sad.
No, you're lucky I'm even doing this
show.
You're
sad.
You're lucky I'm even doing the show after you threw me under the bus.
Dude, hey, you know what? Let's see you man up and sing Silent Night, Holy Night. I just got stuff caught. I just swallowed my own saliva. Dude, can I get a little Silent Night?
Not a chance.
From your sad voice?
No.
Come on, open your sad
There's
mouth.
literally no chance.
Open your sad mouth and sing.
I want to kill you. I want to kill you.
You want to kill me, but you have no strength in your arms.
I just want to kill you.
You have no strength.
I want to kill you.
I
like when we get out of Rogan last night, we're sitting there, and Brian goes, what was that? I go, what? I text you.
Well,
I didn't want this to happen, man.
I thought you guys talked about it.
Talked about what?
He goes, you said you wanted to do this. I was like, oh, interesting. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I'm even more paralyzed.
It was your idea. And if you would have texted me, hey, man, why don't you drive down to Rogan's and we do a show? He's going to shit on your entire career and just discredit everything you've ever done and just TKO you verbally. Oh, and then we'll post that.
And then I'll leave. And you can go to Chipotle to avoid traffic in the valley.
I went to Peaberry and had tea.
Did you?
Yeah. Fuck.
Just sipping tea and staring. Did you sip tea and stare into space? You don't even like tea.
No, I love tea, man.
That's not know you like tea.
The worst. He's the worst.
Hey, man. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, you know I love you, though. But when the shit hits the fan and the wolves are on your back,
it was like a pack of wolves were on me. And you did nothing.
I was like, let's change the subject. Anyway, how about that Johnny Hendricks fight? How about that Johnny Hendricks Robbie Lawler fight? Anyway, we talked about CM Punk. Guys, should we do a little? You know what I think? You know what time it is? I think it's your least favorite time of the podcast. Well, not to mention the beginning of this podcast, but in the future when you're all happy, this is your least favorite because we got Fight Talk brought to you by a future sponsor, ladies and gentlemen. Fight Talk brought to you by a future sponsor. Let's go through the big card here. Should we start
Fox
with the big
this
one?
Saturday? Yeah,
Fox
we'll just
this Saturday.
Down the Fox card this Saturday.
Well, we got Dos Santos Miocic, and I know how to say his name, Miocic.
Let's.
Should we start with that?
Yeah, Brian.
Hey, bro, wake up.
Oh, I'm up.
Oh, we got Mitrione Gonzaga. Big Matt, friend of the shows.
Let's start with Gabriel Gonzaga and Mitrione. I fought both of them. Brian, you go first so you don't piggyback on every answer I say.
Okay, good. I'm gonna say Mitrione's on a roll, coming off of 2 victories. I think Matt is gonna win this fight.
How?
I think it's gonna be a knockout. I don't think you really lose to Matt any other way usually. I think he's
true. Yeah, I think this is a case of it's Mitrione's time. The thing is with Matt, he's never been over that hump where he really beats a veteran. He's never beat a vet or a high caliber guy. I think he gets the win over Gonzaga. I'll say by knockout, and I think he's going to counter a leg kick and knock him out in the first round.
Really?
Matt's very tough to deal with, explosive as he is. This is his over the hump fight. Overeem Struve. Listen, I love Struve. We have the same manager. I think it's a terrible matchup for Struve. He had anxiety coming out to fight Matt Mitrione, let alone a guy who's a hero of his hometown in the Netherlands there. I think Overeem's too much. I'll say Overeem first round TKO.
Well, what about
KO?
What about he had some issues, health issues. Are those kind of abated?
That had nothing to do with the
Mitrione?
No, he just had anxiety and passed out from the nerves and stuff like that. Had nothing to do with his heart.
And so now they give him Alistair Overeem.
Yeah, right. He went from Mitrione and they're like, oh, here's Overeem.
So you want to be a fighter, huh?
Yeah, for sure.
He's
Don't use my words.
He's every bit of 7 feet tall.
Struve?
Yeah.
Every bit.
Every bit of
For
7
sure learn to play basketball.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure, Duncan. Think of Sean Bradley. Who remembers Sean Bradley? Struve, you're more athletic than Sean Bradley.
Struve, you
make
make
millions
a lot of millions of
basketball.
Yeah, you can make millions of dollars.
That's frustrating. I hate when I see tall people that don't play basketball.
So you have a hidden resentment.
Automatically hate him. Dos Anjos Diaz. Ooh, that's a good fight. That's your fight of the night.
First of all, look at Nick's face.
That's your fight of the night right there because those other 3 fights on the main card will not go to a decision. I guarantee you that.
Yeah.
Dos Anjos Diaz, your fight of the night.
For sure, both of you be less intense. Those are some intense grills right there. They look like they're wearing like mean masks.
Mean mask? That's the best you got, huh?
A
mean mask.
They look like they're kind of like animated.
Yeah, the viewers can't see their face.
But if you
just
go to
pick
the,
a damn fight.
If you go to the website.
Yeah, which they're not.
I love the Diaz brothers, so I'm always going to go with Nate or Nick. I love those guys.
I got Dos Anjos.
Really?
I got Dos Anjos
Why?
in a decision because he's a monster.
Yeah.
That's why. He's a monster.
All right, calm down.
Yes.
How's
and
this?
then in the main event, Junior Dos Santos, Stipe. Ooh, it's a tough one to pick.
Again.
What JDS is coming out? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hasn't been the same dude since he got freaking mollywopped by Cain, you know?
Mollywopped.
I mean,
You use that word?
He got slapped around by Cain a little bit. He hasn't fought since. Then he had an injury. This fight's been going on for a while. I think the winner of this will fight Travis Browne. Who you got? I think if Stipe's smart, you got to remember Stipe wrestled at Cleveland State, a Division I school. The kid I brought Stipe in for training camps for. Stipe's a beast, man. He has good boxing. He has a lot of heart, and
he's also improved a lot.
And he has good wrestling, really good wrestling.
Yeah.
If you're gonna beat Junior Dos Santos, Cain has set kind of a little bit of a blueprint on how to do it. Yeah, it's gonna be tough to mimic Cain.
Well,
exactly.
Cain puts his head in your chest and just starts banging away and doesn't get tired. I mean,
no, he gets tired.
Well,
he just continues
less
to
tired
get
than
through
the
it.
other guy.
Yeah. But I think Stipe, if he's smart and he uses wrestling and distance and avoids the big punches, he can win in a decision. If he decides to strike like he's been doing his last fights, it's going to be an early night for him.
Is that right? So he's not on a level of boxing that
I didn't say that. I never said that.
Well,
no one said that.
Well, here's what he's done. What I've seen is he does stand on the outside and he boxes. And he does really well that way.
Who does, Stipe?
Yeah.
He did against Roy.
Okay.
Against Gonzaga, he didn't. He kind of stood in there. Gonzaga was kind of landing the overhand right, you know?
Right.
Ended up breaking his hand.
Okay, so say that again. So what should he not do?
He shouldn't sit there and trade with Junior Santos. No one's going to beat Junior doing that. No one ever has.
Hmm.
He has to use his wrestling and use his feints and stuff like that.
What do you think he's going to do? So who are you taking in this fight?
I don't know. I haven't seen either guy fight in a while. You know what I'm saying? So it's a good fight.
I haven't seen Dos Santos fight in a very long time.
He got hurt.
He
lost to Cain and then got hurt.
Okay.
But two of your most athletic guys in the division.
Yeah.
That's it for Fight Talk.
Well, that's it for Fight Talk, ladies and gentlemen.
There's your Fight Talk.
That's it for Fight Talk.
There's your Fight Talk, Brian. Can we talk about? Oh man, just when you don't think your week can get any worse, just when you don't think shit can get any worse, I've been pumped for weeks to watch this guy get eaten by an anaconda on Discovery.
That was one of the current events I was going to bring up.
Sorry,
Really?
man.
Are we already up on current event?
Not yet.
What do you mean not yet?
Let me get through this.
Go ahead.
I was pumped to see this dude get eaten by an anaconda. Didn't get eaten. 2-hour special on Discovery. Didn't get eaten.
He didn't get eaten. What was the thing? I don't know what it was.
It's a guy getting eaten by an anaconda, and he has cameras all over his body, and he puts a suit on where it's supposed to show him getting eaten live by an anaconda. And it did nothing to him.
What the fuck?
It did nothing to him.
It didn't eat him.
No, it like circled around him, and then he tapped out.
And then they pulled it off?
Yeah, and then they send us a disclaimer that says the snakes in this video were not live. They were all like trained snakes. They're like fake snakes.
Fake snakes?
They showed them like...
What do you mean? Mechanical? Or they
No,
You
they're like...
can't train a snake.
Well, no, it was like a snake.
Sit!
It was like an anaconda from PetSmart.
Hey, guess
basically.
what?
They probably pumped it full of like
Nitro.
tranquilizers.
Yeah, I was going to say, because otherwise...
Because it shows him jumping in the river, pulling these giant anacondas out, but I think they were all just set there for him to grab.
They've been handled by humans for a long time.
They're human trained snakes. Yes.
That's bullshit. That's like the Mickey Rourke fight.
Exactly.
Come on, man.
You duped me, Discovery. Everyone's pissed about it.
Come on, Discovery.
I was like, I lost my fight. At least I get this sweet ass Discovery show to watch.
a
And
human
then 2
being.
hours, I was like, God, I can't wait to see him get eaten. I was like, no way, this is it. No fucking way.
So he was going to put on a suit. Did he not
He
know
did put
that
on a
that thing
suit.
was going to squeeze him to death?
No, he knew the suit allowed where he wouldn't get squeezed to death.
Okay.
It was all the suit where he wouldn't get bit, squeezed, stuff like that.
Weird. That's how big is the guy? Is he a jockey? How big is he? You'd have to be tiny. I mean, I know
That's the thing. The suit was all bullshit and bulky. And
I mean, I think anacondas can like swallow like a small horse probably.
yeah,
Not really.
They
Yeah, they
detach their jaws.
yeah.
and
There's
they're crazy.
documents of where they've swallowed humans before.
Oh, really?
There's no way this thing was gonna swallow this guy in this suit. The guy, it was like he was wearing like a firefighter suit, this huge suit. The thing was not gonna eat him.
Whatever. Go. You know what? Get a better stunt.
Wasting my fucking time. Discovery.
Steve-O, you could put a little GoPro on Steve-O's head, and Steve-O would just do it.
That's a good point.
You know,
Probably.
get Steve-O out there.
Do you want to get into current events?
You know what, ladies and gentlemen? Current event in it, brought to you by Hulu Plus. I hope you guys watch and use Hulu Plus. Once again, I was a user far before they actually gave us sponsorship. It's an outstanding service for $7.99 a month. You want 2 weeks free? Go to huluplus.com/fighter. You can watch all your favorite current shows at your fingertips. You can binge watch, which I love to do, which I'm doing with Gotham. You can binge watch and just watch all of them at once. Or you can watch, one at a time. You can watch Hulu Plus on your Game Boy. You can watch it on your computer. You can watch it on your phone. You can watch it on your Xbox. You can watch it on any platform you want. You can watch it on Brendan's sad effing face if you want. Okay?
You can't watch it on Game Boys.
1000% can't watch it on Game
Can't
Boy.
watch it. I
You
said
made that
you
up.
can't watch it on Game Boy, and you can't watch it on Brendan's sad effing face. But you can watch it on other platforms. And if you don't like TV for $7.99 a month, I don't know what's wrong with you. No, you know what? Go do yourself a favor and pay a fortune for cable, etc. Yeah, that's a good idea. This is changing everything when it comes to TV. I don't know how they make
everything.
I don't know how they actually make money. That doesn't make a lot of sense. If it's $7.99 a month, I would definitely charge. How much do we charge for our T-shirts? A lot more than that. So for the price of, literally a quarter of a T-shirt. If I were to cut our T-shirts that we sell in 3 pieces and give you a third, I think that's how much it costs for Hulu Plus. A third of a T-shirt, ladies and gentlemen. If you can't afford a third, this is awesome. How about this metaphor?
It's terrible.
It
You're
is.
off today.
I'm not off today.
You're off.
What do you mean?
On the fight breakdown.
Hey, take it
you
easy.
said-
I've had an
you said,
emotional time.
It looks like they're wearing mean mask. Hulu Plus is cheaper than cutting your shirt in thirds and watching the Kardashians.
Hey, take it easy, man.
The Hulu Plus advertisers are like this right now during your read.
Bro, listen.
They're like,
They're holding their
we
face
paid
up.
for this?
They're holding their
We
face
paid
up.
for this?
This guy Bryan Callen sucks.
Yeah, we're gonna email from Nina. So Hulu Plus is out. Yeah, a third of a T-shirt was your fucking. That's the way you approached them.
Guess who's not
a
getting
third of a
sponsorship?
T-shirt.
Guess who's not going to do a campaign for Hulu Plus? Bryan Callen, the kid. Oh, ladies and gentlemen,
Hulu
before
Plus,
we get into
3 weeks free, 2 weeks,
2 weeks,
free,
bro. 2 weeks.
$7.99 a month. Get her done.
Get her done. Original
Hulu
programming.
Plus / Fighter.
HuluPlus.com/fighter. Talk about off. Hey, dude, let me handle this. HuluPlus.com/fighter.
Shirt. God,
all right.
damn it.
Well, I think we charge $27.99 for our shirts or something like that. I mean, they are woven. We do we do weave them ourselves. We do actually. We do all the stitching
So
ourselves.
off.
Brennan and I a lot of times are up all night weaving.
Let's go to some current
stitching.
events with Evan the Beard. Hulu Plus. We love you.
Come
Sign
see
up
me.
for him.
Before we
Free.
do current events, brought to you by Bryan Callen, Philadelphia. Come see me tonight, tomorrow, next day, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Wear your Mark Sanchez
Helium.
jerseys. Turn in your Michael Vick jerseys. He'll take them.
I'll sign them.
He'll sign your
I
Mark
have
Sanchez
no merchandise
jerseys.
to sell, but come see me. You can touch me afterwards. We can talk, make out, whatever it is you want to do after my show. I'll make you laugh, and then you can touch me.
Wear your Randall Cunningham jerseys, and Brian will sign it.
Helium. Come see me. I think we might be. Hurry up because we're selling fast.
I really want one person like just to come to your show actually wearing a Ricky Waters jersey or like a Warren Moon jersey
Warren Moon.
and just own it.
Fast.
That would be dope.
Shut that bitch down.
Shut that bitch down.
First current event. We'll spend a little bit of time on it, just a tiny little second, just to jump back into it because I really want to talk about eaten alive. Pissed me off so much. I've gotten closer to being eaten alive by my dog, like feeding it a treat, than that guy came. Like, if you're gonna call a show "Eaten Alive," that's an aggressive name, aggressive title for a show.
Yeah, that's
at
you
least
got duped.
At least maybe like put your finger like on its tongue, just play with it for a second.
You got duped.
Discovery had to put out a statement putting eaten alive is a context that we wanted to use. Doesn't mean he's necessarily gonna get eaten.
Whatever. Bullshit.
Listen,
That's
if
a
there's
lie.
a show that says guy walks across a tightrope and crosses the building, I want to see a guy walking across a fucking tightrope and cross the building.
Yeah.
I don't want to see him get up there, turn around halfway, and fall
Hey,
back.
at least when you listen to the Fighter and the Kid, you get authenticity and you don't get fake eaten alive stuff.
Unless it's a Hulu Plus read, but yeah, you're right.
Hey man, I gave it my all.
That was horrible.
I'm feeling a little emotional.
You're emotional.
Yeah.
God.
Sick of being duped by Discovery channels. It's
Me
like the
too,
third
man.
time I feel like
Some
they've gotten
bullshit.
me.
Do you see how they're doing Cat Week?
Cat Week?
Cat Week. They're trying Big Cat Week instead of Shark Week.
Seriously?
Cat Week?
Cat Week?
Yeah.
At least you know.
Cat Week.
At least you know all the girls that are out will be cool and normal.
They already had it though.
They already had it.
Yeah. I think that's how you know it's a real shitty thing, Cat Week.
Do you know that my father sits there for hours and watches specials on lions? I'm actually worried about him.
Lions are cool though.
Yeah, but that's all he does.
Well,
He sits
but
there.
they sleep like 23 hours a day, so
Dude,
cool
he's
for an
sitting
hour.
there staring at his computer, and I just hear. I swear to God, I was like, "What the fuck is going on?" I go over there. He's just sitting there eating a banana and watching it. I was like, "What are you doing?" He goes, "Big cats, lions."
well, your dad should
It's like,
tune
what are they
into
doing?
Discovery.
I was like, "What are they doing?" He does it on his computer. He goes to YouTube and just watches literally everything on lions he can think of. He knows he's an expert on lions at 75. It's just so weird.
Is he starting to do lion things?
I don't know, dude.
Did you
but
sleep
I,
all
like,
the time?
Literally,
Does
it's like
does he
watching
just
porn. Like if it
growl
was porn, I'd
sometimes?
understand. And instead, I just hear, and I hear an animal dying. Like, I'm like, "What are you doing?" He goes, "It's just special footage they found."
That's weird.
I was like, "Dude, he's fascinated with their power and their whatever it is."
I was too when I was 8.
I know, and he's 75.
When I was 8, I used to.
I'm
love
not
to watch
joking when I say
rhinos.
he literally watches hours of it. I'm like, "What's going
Your
on?"
dad's a psycho.
Yeah, a little bit.
All right.
What else you got?
Jump to
man?
the next one. This is one that I really want to talk to you guys about because I don't feel like you talked about it enough yesterday, even though it came up. CM Punk signing with the UFC. I know he's your boy because he's in the Gracie family and everything.
He's a good man.
Does he have... He said he had a little bit of Kempo in his background. Is this going to be the first guy to die in the octagon is what I want to know.
Listen. You can answer that, Brendan.
No, I can't.
Okay, then I will. I hear nothing but good things about CM Punk.
He's a great guy.
He's
Great guy, hard worker.
He's a
has
great guy.
balls of steel.
Right.
Listen,
Definitely balls of steel.
balls of steel. Listen, I want to play for Los Angeles Lakers. I can't go call up fucking, the commissioner of the NBA and say, "Well, you put me on the Lakers." You know what I'm saying? It
I'm
doesn't work like
surprised.
that.
I'm actually surprised that a guy of his intelligence and his social savvy would actually consider getting into the UFC, into the octagon, and having a real MMA fight. Now, if they give him somebody who doesn't fight a lot, fine. But I don't know how experiences and having a Kempo background and doing a little jiu-jitsu is not going to help you in that octagon.
Listen, we don't know the exact details.
No.
Dana White wasn't like, we don't know if Dana White said, yeah, sign with us. We're going to toss you to freaking John Jones.
Yeah.
Or sign with us. We'll build you up. Don't worry. We'll find some fights for you where, it's going to be evenly matched. Does it become a little bit of a sideshow?
Yes, it does.
Or,
I'll answer the question. I'll answer the question. Yes, it does become
he's a huge star.
It's a sideshow. It's a sideshow, okay? And let me go on record as saying I don't approve. I think it's, and all due respect to him and everybody else, I think it's not respectful to the effort that is required to get into that octagon. Every time I watch one of those guys get patted down, hug his coach, and step into that octagon, it's one of my favorite parts of the whole thing. What I'm looking at is supreme human effort and all the things it took to get that person's body and mind in a position to he's earned his place there. And I don't care if he loses or wins. When you step in the octagon, it's called the big show. It is the big show. It's why people don't really talk about the other divisions. I mean the other
leagues.
It's the UFC, and to get there it takes everything. And the agony and the defeat and the joy of winning and all that stuff. And every fighter goes through it. Every fighter goes through crazy pain. Every fighter goes through crazy frustration. Every fighter goes through crazy fear and self-doubt and has to overcome all those things, not to mention pushing their body to the point where shit pops and breaks.
Well, if it was anyone else, I would freaking annihilate him on this mic. I would destroy him. But
yeah, you like the guy.
I like the guy. I know him personally, so
and your
I
hands
wish
are a
nothing
little
but
tied,
the best
and that's
one.
fine.
Next one is P. Diddy punched Drake in a club and dislocated his jaw.
Ooh.
That's dope.
I wonder why.
Wow.
What was it over? A chick?
It
Some
has
music?
to be. Got to be
in Miami?
Either a chick or music for sure.
Or did he do it by accident?
I just you know what it comes down to? These rappers forget they're not tough guys. Most of them aren't. Like Drake was on the Disney Channel singing. You know what I'm saying?
Is that true?
Yes. You're not a gangster.
He's an
because
artist.
you get some
He's an
tattoos.
artist.
You're an artist.
He was in band.
Think how artistic guys are to come up with these rap lyrics and this music and these catchy beats. You're an artistic dude.
Yeah.
You don't meet too many tough gangster artistic dudes.
No.
Same thing with Bieber and Drake. Just be a talented musician.
Yes.
Don't try and be gangster. I don't need to see you shooting guns in the club.
No.
For sure, make another cool song like 0 to 100 or Start from the Bottom, Now We're Here. But don't act like you're a Crip or a Blood.
No.
Because you're not fooling anybody.
It also sucks and it's not helpful.
And you know what proves that you're not tough in the least bit? A 45-year-old P. Diddy walked up to you and punched you in the mouth in front of everybody. P. Diddy's not a tough guy.
He's also much smaller than Drake.
Yes, P. Diddy's not a tough guy.
No, he's not.
I see P. Diddy train. I see he's a smart guy,
Yep.
capitalizes on smart business decisions.
Yeah.
He's not a gangster.
No.
Drake, for sure sing and quit being a tough guy.
Mo money, mo problems.
Mo money, mo problems there. The struggle is real for those fake gangsters.
It's like Ice Cube. You know what Cube's like? I spent enough time with him. Cube is the most conservative, hard-working person. He's always working. And when he's not working, he's at home.
Shooting
Hanging
guns.
out. He's at home making more money. He's got about Ice Cube's got about by some estimations
$2 gajillion.
Yeah, about $200 million, $150 million.
He's very successful. He's tiny.
He's solid. But
he was
he's
in
not
NWA. At least
tall.
he has a little bit of a gangster background. NWA, fuck the
guess
cops,
what?
stuff like that.
He's got a really tight family. Mom
Saul's
and dad.
girl.
And always was. And I talked to him about it. He was like, I was always writing. I was always trying to write.
Artistic guys,
I was trying to write
guys.
music. I'm still writing music. He produces. You want to be successful. The really successful guys like that.
He's freaking Scarface compared to Drake.
Yeah.
That's how tough he is.
No, Cube is tough. I mean,
Yes,
Cube's
he's
mentally
different
tough.
level
He's mentally
than-
tough.
yeah.
But the bottom line is, to be successful at stuff, you don't have time to be gangbanging. You got to be working.
Those guys
Cube's a
figured it.
sweetheart. I ran into him at the Staples Center in like
Great
'97, and he
Great
signed my hockey jersey.
Oh, sick.
He's
Still have it.
Sick.
He's a great dude.
That's like Step Brothers.
Ice Cube jersey on a hockey.
It's
on
like
Ice Cube.
Step Brothers.
It's exactly like it.
It's like, did Randy Jackson sign your sword? Yeah, it's a real autograph.
Yeah, man.
Why would Randy Jackson
It's
sign
the
your sword?
same situation.
Why
in
did
real
Ice
life.
Cube sign your Toronto Maple Leafs jersey? You're in LA.
Why would a 12-year-old want Ice Cube's autograph on a hockey jersey?
What jersey?
It was one of my personal like travel team hockey jerseys.
Sick.
It wasn't even an NHL team.
Sick. Sick.
Yep.
Next
One of my
topic.
favorite ones. We'll wrap on that. This will be the last topic. Floyd, do you hear the Floyd Mayweather story that happened?
no.
Do you know what I'm talking about? One of his rapper friends FaceTimed him in like an insane panic and basically ended up killing his wife on FaceTime while Floyd Mayweather was watching.
Did he kill himself too?
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, that's terrible. Jesus Christ.
Jesus, man.
Hey Evan, that's kind of heavy.
This is my thing.
Maybe a current event should
Maybe we should have a moment of silence for that person.
Well, my thing is
Jesus.
he's going through all this. He's like, let me. You know what? Before I do this, let me FaceTime.
Well, he's
Floyd
probably
Mayweather.
looking for his boy to talk him off the cliff, and Floyd's
Yeah.
I
probably
think
not
Floyd
the
was
best.
trying to talk him off.
Floyd's a Bryan Callen. Floyd's not so good. Maybe Floyd's not so helpful in an emergency.
Floyd's advice was maybe go to Chipotle and chill out for a little bit, man. Maybe go get some tea at Pinkberry while you're all depressed by yourself.
I gotta go home to my family.
I'm
You
gonna
know
go
what?
home to Calabasas.
Maybe
You know what
Floyd
topic I
could-
should have gone with? It was between this and some grumpy, like a picture of a grumpy cat. Somehow made $100 million in the last 2
Grumpy
years.
Cats.
Grumpy cat made $100
Grumpy
million in
Cat's
the
a
last 2 years.
Internet sensation, my man.
How the fuck does that happen?
God, he looks super grumpy. Though.
Super grumpy cat.
Super grumpy
It is. It is what it
Grumpy
is.
cat.
It's no eating
You ever seen
alive.
Grumpy Cat?
No.
He's a beast. As far as a beast online, does that make sense? He looks super grumpy.
Yeah. Hey, look, you're smiling.
Grumpy looking
Yeah.
cat.
Big Brown smiling, ladies and gentlemen.
I can't smile too much. I look like freaking. I said this on Rogan. I look like freaking Joaquin Phoenix right now with a cliff lip.
Cleft palate.
Yeah, and I had to shave that gnarly ass beard, and I shaved all the stitches off. So I'm worried if I smile, it's gonna open up.
Oh man.
12
good, though.
stitches in my upper lip.
You look like a cutie. Can you kiss? Can you kiss?
Kissing's tough.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
You
No.
gotta go bottom lip on you, huh?
No, I just kind of lick now.
Oh, bottom lip and lick. I gotta go bottom
Kinda like
lip.
Grumpy cat.
So if I was,
You're my girlfriend?
swinging for the other
If you were
team,
Joe?
or I was your girl, I'd have to go low. And when I say low, I don't mean low. I just mean lower lip.
so stupid.
That's me sucking on your lip.
This is weird.
This is
man.
super weird.
No, hold on. See how long you can take this down.
I mean, how long? I can take you forever, man.
I hate that noise.
Yeah, not bad.
Riddle me this, Brian. Which one is worse? 10 stitches in your tongue, or what Brendan got on his lip?
Your tongue would suck.
Victory, toughest injury. What's up?
Tongue?
Yeah,
Oh,
and then
what happened?
I also got into some trouble the next day and blew all of them out. And now there's
hockey?
a semi-hole in
Was
my
it
tongue.
hockey?
No,
Bar
fights.
fight?
Both of them.
So your tongue was out, and someone hit you in the mouth and you bit your tongue.
I was in high school and I got in a fight, bit down on my tongue when I got hit one time, and then the next day I went to a metal concert and I got in a fight there too, and I blew all my stitches out.
You have an
Jesus,
anger
do you
issue.
fight with your tongue? What do you do? You get in knife fights with tongue cutters?
I just
Or
take
do you
them
guys
down
just
and
stick your
lick.
tongue out and bite each other?
You know what the worst part about mine is I was doing interviews after, right? I'm in the freaking locker room. The doctor comes in and goes, Schaub, we gotta stitch you up, man. I'm like, all right, cool. Adrenaline's down. We sit in the back and he goes, how you doing, man? I go, my night can't get much worse. He goes, it's gonna get a lot worse. I go, why? He goes, I gotta put stitches in. I go, yeah, man, I've had stitches, 100 times. He goes, no, on the lip, it's super sensitive and your adrenaline's not up anymore. It's gonna fucking hurt, man. The doctor cusses at me. It's
Jesus.
gonna fucking hurt, man. So he takes this giant needle.
Good. When the doctor says this is gonna fucking hurt.
I have Tony Jeffrey and Ryan
to a
Gracie,
professional fighter too.
or,
Henry
Henry
Gracie.
Gracie holding their phones out, recording it. They're like, I gotta get this. I'm like, oh, great. So again, great friends. They're recording it. I have it on my phone. I'll show it to you. I've
All alone.
got it on my phone. Jam this needle about this long up into my lip. You can feel everything. Most painful thing ever in my life. Gets done. You can hear in the tape. I go, Eyes are watering. Pulls it out. And I go, oh my God, thank God that's over. That is the worst pain I've ever had. He goes, yeah, I know. I got to do it 2 more times too, my man. I'm like, oh God.
Oh God, no! Just wait a minute. Just stitch
You had
me
to
up.
numb it. No, you have to numb it because it was so deep. You had to freaking.
Damn it, dude. That sucked.
Yeah, man.
You know, when you were talking about your tongue being, I forgot this story. My mother used to ride horses, and she was in love with this horse. Like, you know, people get attached to their horses.
Brendan loves horses.
She came home,
Noses, just
she
noses.
came home all bummed out, and I was like, "What?" You know, remember we were talking, and she goes, "Oh, this nasty horse." I said, "What?" She goes, "My horse was they were at the stalls, and their faces were close to each other, and her horse stuck her tongue out at the other horse, and the other horse bit the tongue off." Why are you laughing at that?
That took an unexpected
She
turn.
was so
right?
upset. The horse stuck its
I
tongue
think you
out.
say
And
like the horse was eating an
the other horse
apple.
went, and bit its tongue off. And then with those front flat grass stained teeth. You think? Poor horse was like, oh, that would suck.
The horse died.
Jeez.
I don't know. I don't think
For
it died,
sure
but I know
did.
they had to like rush it to the hospital. You can bleed out. Bit its tongue off. I'm glad you're so sympathetic. Look at you cackling, laughing so hard you can't make a noise.
It just
Oh my God, what a
it's just
bad
because you
person.
get to
Look at Brendan.
imagine 2 horse noses
Horse
in the same
brutality.
shot.
Horse brutality. Hey guys, want to make Brendan laugh at the worst day of his life? Just talk about horse brutality.
Well, dude, you're like, yeah, my mom's horse, and he stuck his tongue out, and the horse ripped his tongue off. It's like, Jesus, man.
That's called a bait and switch. That's
Yeah,
called
it is.
That's just a
Should
surprise.
we go with some fan questions?
Yep.
Fan questions.
You got them up there?
Yep. Let's do it.
Ooh, I gotta get on a plane soon to Philadelphia.
This one comes from Roger Warman. Any chance we could see you drop down to light heavy?
It's up for debate. You know, I won't make any decisions to January. What's next? I know we are not done fighting, and that's an option. I'm gonna talk to some guys.
You're gonna be fun to be around.
I'll reach out to some dietitians and nutritionists and see what they think. But like I said, on my own, I got down to 225. So it's an option. We'll see. I don't know if we have to, but it's definitely an option. Could be fun. Could be exciting. Could be a new challenge. I don't know. What do you think, Ev?
I think you could. If DC can make 205, I think you can make 205.
DC's 5'9".
Yeah, but
DC's 5'9".
DC
DC's a
had
thick
a
boy.
barrel around him, about the width of 2 of you.
It's true.
You
And it really was when you said that you can make 220. You made 225 on your own diet.
Yeah.
And you weren't like, you didn't even get into like a full, like the hard cut
personally, I
the
think-
last 2 days.
personally, I think
where you're
he's
dropping
lying.
15, 20 pounds in a
God.
day.
I think you were 232.
No, I promise.
Even if it was 232.
The lightest I was 223
Wow.
for metamorph.
If you can get to 223 by yourself for something that you're not doing like a last 2 days weight cut status kind of weight cut, then yeah, I think you can make 205.
Can't wait.
I'll talk to the UFC.
Whether you should do it or not is a different
Yeah, I
question.
know.
Can't
There's a
wait
lot
for
of
the next
variables to
camp.
change.
You're going to be so much fun. You won't be irritable at all.
Yeah, I'll talk to UFC, talk to my manager, talk to my family, friends, see what everyone thinks. We'll take it from there. Yeah, I won't make any decision. I fought 2 days ago. Joe Rogan pissed down my throat last night. You know what I'm saying? I fought 2 days ago. I'm not making any decisions.
For sure.
I know we're not done. I know I have a crazy amount of support. And
you do.
looking at the positives.
Yep.
That's all you can do.
And you do.
And not to mention I cry every night, but it's whatever.
Yeah, you lose some weight and tears too.
You do lose weight and tears.
Lose some weight and
Lose
tears.
some water weight.
Yeah.
I won't be satisfied until there's a bottle of your tears.
Yeah.
All right, this one's from
Dragon
Lindsay
tears.
Yost, and she wants to know if there are any special reasons or meanings behind your walkout song.
Victory? Nah, it's just a cool song. Honestly, it was the walkout song. I walked out to Andre Arlovski, and usually in camp there's a song that gets me going, or a new song that it just works for me, and me and my coach Tony, we both love it, and I'll pick that. And for this one, it just never happened. So they asked me when I checked on Tuesday, like, what the hell is your walkout song? I had nothing. So I was like, yeah, just stick with Victory. That was the only
Worst
reason.
walkout song of all time? Worst walkout song for me? Can I speak English? Worst walkout song?
Yeah, for sure.
Johnny Hendricks.
What was it?
This country song that I just couldn't even
He's,
make out.
He's from, he's a country
That's
boy,
fine,
man,
but I was
Texas.
like, man, that is not inspiring, though. It's just like, I was like, ooh.
The way he fights
right.
is inspiring.
Country just makes me want to, I don't know, drink lemonade and hang out.
See, I like country.
I'm not saying I don't like it. I don't like it, actually. It's never, but I mean, when I hear it, it doesn't really get me pumped. It just gets me kind of.
Can we talk about how for Christmas you're going to Bora Bora?
Yeah.
Could there be a least American thing to do?
I'm not paying for it.
I know, but could there be a least American
I'm
thing
not
to
paying
do
for it.
instead
Dad's paying for
of being? I'm not talking about money. Instead of being at home with your family and friends, you go to Bora Bora.
I mean, Christmas isn't like the Captain America holiday. That's the 4th of July and Memorial Day.
Christmas is pretty American.
No one wraps themselves in American flags on
Christmas is pretty traditional in America.
It actually is pretty American. But you know what?
You're a terrorist.
Hey, man.
You're going to Bora Bora.
That's what you get when you ask two Jewish guys about Christmas.
He's not Jewish?
Callen's not Jewish?
He's not Jewish?
Yeah. Who pronounces Afghanistan like that and isn't Jewish?
This psycho. Are you inviting your ISIS friends to Bora Bora?
Hey, man, come on. I'm just
Do you
calling my
get your
extended
kids
family.
presents? Or no. You're this dad. I mean, the kids have everything. I mean, why are you that dad?
Well,
I fucking
my wife is not.
You have everything.
Yeah.
What do you need? Yeah, I get it. I have clothes. I have shoes.
I'm terrible
I have
at
a car.
presents. I'm terrible about presents.
Now you got me a dope ass espresso machine.
I bought you a very expensive espresso.
Use it every day.
You do?
Every day.
All right, good.
Every single day. Next question.
This one's from Jeremy Stokes. What's your opinion on fighters and having an after party after a loss?
I had an after party after this fight and after the Lasky fight. I showed up to neither, and I lost a significant amount of money. If you can go party with your friend, see, I'm different. I've always been like this, even in football games. In college, when we lost and my roommates were having a party, I would leave and go do my own thing. I don't think it means enough to you if you can go to a party and enjoy yourself if after you lose a fight.
Yeah.
Some guys are different. Some guys it's about the journey. They lose one, they live to fight another day, and they can go.
You're way too competitive for that.
They're way too competitive. They can get over it and say, "Oh, on to the next one. Let's have fun tonight and celebrate the process." And it's not about winning and losing. And we're celebrating the process. I get that. That's good, and that's great for them if they can do that and you get paid and have balls served and stuff like that. I also don't like clubs. That's the other thing.
Yeah.
So the last thing I want to do is, even if you're gonna pay me $5,000 to go to a club after a fight, is be surrounded by people. Ah, man, you almost had it. Oh, blah blah blah. Oof. My family and friends don't want to be in the club. Disaster.
Yeah.
Can't pay me enough to go.
That sounds like pain. I'd rather go to the dentist.
I'd rather go to your house.
All right, we'll do two more. This one is from Joey Fulford. Will Callen be challenging CM Punk for his UFC debut? Honestly, I don't feel like that would be that big of a mismatch. I don't think it'd be a mismatch at all.
A hell of a fight.
This is Brian's chance for a UFC debut to get a UFC fight.
I wish that would.
Would you do it?
Would you do it if they approached you?
I don't know. Maybe I'd have to train, but yes, maybe. The answer is yes.
That'd be sick.
But I'm 47, man. I don't think I have any business doing that. And
well,
he's
I'm
a
not
big
saying,
guy, by the way.
He's not that big. Not at all. That'd be so interesting.
I mean,
I want this to happen.
But
Now I'm intrigued too, and frankly, I shouldn't say this out loud because if I get asked to do something like that, I may have to do it.
Well, you're only going to do it if the UFC approaches you. It's a far cry. You're not going to do it if
I don't think anybody really
Billy's
gives a shit
fight
about
promotion
Bryan Callen. Hey, the sometimes working actor. Who is that guy again? Oh, that's the guy who played Eddie in The Hangover and CM Punk. I think CM Punk. I mean,
CM Punk might turn the fight down.
I mean, yeah, literally.
Turn the fight
I don't think CM Punk gets anything out of fighting. The
Punk,
comedian who wrestled in high school.
CM Punk would go. He's not even ranked.
Ranked. He spars non-boxers.
He's not even ranked in the top 20,000.
I mean, please.
That'd be the best post-fight win speech of all time, though.
I'd love to. I'd just make it a total show. We'd have a blast. And I'm sure I'd love the guy.
Oh yeah, you'd love him.
Yeah,
good dude.
I've heard nothing but great things about him.
Next question.
All right, next question is coming from. Where the hell did that one go? Here we go. Big Brown.
Yeah.
Ideal scenario. Who or when and who do you fight next?
It's $1 million question.
More importantly, when?
When? No idea. Couldn't tell you. I have a 60-day suspension due to these stitches in my lip. I don't know. I'd say mid-next year. How about that? Mid-next year is what I would think. And then again, it depends what we do. Stay at heavyweight 205. Depends what we do. But we're for sure fighting. For sure fighting. Like I said, I'm like The Dark Knight Rises.
If anything, you're more hungry.
Travis Browne, yeah, for sure. Don't speak for me. Travis Browne's Bane. He whooped my ass, broke my back, threw me down that well, And I'm Batman right now with the two old guys, Brian, and he's trying to talk me into figuring out a way to get healthy and start training, climb up through that thing, and be the Dark Knight. That's what's going on right now.
It's awesome analogy.
Yeah, that's what's going on right now.
Is it now Brendan the Dark Knight Schaub? Because that sounds super cool.
Oh man,
Brendan the Dark Knight Schaub.
I don't think that's taken.
Bottom of the well, back broken.
Awesome.
He will mend. He will find his way up. Look at me. I got a cup of warm water. That's all I have to offer.
Yeah.
Open your mouth. I got you.
Yeah.
Open your mouth.
It writes itself. You get a
Dude.
Reebok made cape.
I finally have an awesome part.
Brian gets to be your Robin. He walks out with you. You come out to like the score to the score to the soundtrack.
We ditched
Everyone
Big Brown
wins.
and just go with the Dark Knight.
The Dark Knight. Da-da-da.
The Brown Knight.
And you show up.
Brown
You
Knight.
show up in a cape.
The
and
Brown
a
Knight.
hood. The Brown Knight.
I have just this shitty homemade Batman costume, and it's instead of black, it's brown. It's like leather football
shitty brown ears,
a brown cape.
Oh, that's great.
And just like it's all like off. The eye, one eye smaller and bigger.
What
than
happened
the
to
other.
Brendan?
I'm just like,
what happened to Big Brown? And then he goes, Big Brown. You're like, whoa, hold on. No, it's Brown Knight. Bruce, say Brown Knight. Brendan Brown Knight.
The crowd boos. My cape falls off. As they're announcing,
You won't take your cape off. Dude, you have to take your hood off. You have to. Not taking it off. Not taking my ears off. You have
Not
to.
taking my ears off.
Not taking this off. This is not wrestling, fake wrestling.
Big Brown Knight. Brown
Yeah.
Knight.
The Brown Knight's where it's at. I think you got to make that happen.
Brown Knight's
Just
pretty legit.
Big
no
Brown,
forewarning.
the Brown Knight.
I don't know if we can keep switching nicknames nonstop.
Hey, dude.
Hey, hybrid Brown, Big Brown Knight. Oh, what are you going by these days? Brown hybrid Knight.
Selling T-shirts. The Brown Knight, ladies and
We
gentlemen.
just keep selling T-shirts, changing the name.
His complete identity.
Did you get the new Brendan Schaub shirt? Which one? The hybrid? Nah. Oh, the big brown one? Nah. The Brown Knight? I think so.
Worst branding ever. Worst branding ever. All right, I got to catch
As long as it's Team Schaub.
That's it.
Listen, guys, wasn't easy to do. I appreciate the laughs. What we're going to do, too, write a review, leave a review on iTunes. It helps the show out if you're a fan of the show. I don't know how many reviews we have. We have a couple hundred. When we get to 1,000, I'll pick 3 random people who write positive reviews. I'll give you a signed fight glove. Someone will get a UFC fight glove signed by Big Brown. Someone will get a signed fight shorts from me. And I'll do 2 gloves and a pair of shorts. When we get to 1,000 reviews, I'll pick the winners. Write a review. Tell a friend about the show. The better the show does, the better for everyone. I love you guys. Thanks for the support. I can't thank you enough. That's it, man. Pause. I appreciate you being on this journey. I know it's exhausting to be a big Brown Knight fan right now. I know it's fucking a big Brown Knight fan. I know it's fucking exhausting.
He's at the bottom of the well.
It's exhausting.
I got a cup of warm water. Drink up, man. You got this. Drink up.
I promise you, we'll rise up from this. We'll be better. Any of you there that this helped, I'm glad it did. This is why we do it. On to the next one. I love you guys. This is the Fire and the Kid. We're out.